know no matter where you are, you're a superstar. Chase your dreams, you never know, they might get you far. Don't let the world tear you apart, no, no, no. Didn't you know you got that sparkle, baby glow? It's in your grace and your flow and the way that you always grow. It's in your grace and your flow, oh. Just embrace your melanin, just embrace the God within. Just know you are everything, everything and more. Just embrace your melanin, just embrace the God within.
Hey
just
you guys, what's up?
Everything.
Welcome to You Got Served. This your girl, Sarah,
Tara,
and Misha,
and we're here to serve you. Today we have new guests. Welcome, Black Empowerment Movement.
yeah.
Hey, I'm Kintu.
I'm Jessica.
Hey.
Hey y'all, what's going on?
We here. We good.
We
I'm
good.
nervous.
We in the building, BEM in the building.
Yes.
Black Empowerment Movement. So this is the empowerment episode, you guys. And we want to ask what empowers you guys? We're gonna start with you, Jessica. What empowers you?
Ooh, what empowers me is being able to do for self.
Okay.
Yeah, being able to do for myself. It empowers me to be able to do for my community. Being in this organization has really, it really brought a lot of purpose to my life. I'll say that. I can honestly say I've searched for my purpose, and this is it.
Okay.
Yes.
What about you, Kintu?
I would say self-determination for our people. That's to me what is empowerment, having self-determination for us to determine our own self-destiny as a people, as a collective. Yeah, so that was empowerment means to me.
Okay, that's what's up. So, what have y'all ever felt empowerless before?
Or what does it mean to you guys when you hear the word empowerment?
Empowerless, actually.
Powerless. A time, I can't think of a time. Part of being in jail, that make you feel powerless. That makes you feeling powerless, man. Cause being locked up. You ever been locked up? I don't care what it's for. That's the worst.
It is.
Yeah.
That's the worst. Ain't nothing like those cold ass honey buns. Nah.
What about you, Jessica?
I say the same thing. I've been in jail before. You gotta wait on somebody to come let you call somebody, and don't let them not answer. And they ain't gonna let you make that second call. That's the worst feeling. Also, as for me, as being a single mother, when I'm not able to provide something for my kids, that makes me feel powerless.
I agree.
I'm pretty sure a lot of you ladies out there can agree. So, name a time that you have been empowered.
Basically, the things we do within the organization, like going out in the community, teaching self-defense, feeding our people in the community, just doing whatever the community needs us to be, wherever that need is. That makes me feel empowered, you know. So that alone, I love that. That gives me empowerment, make me feel empowered.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you as well, Jessica? Name a time that you have been empowered.
I can say I felt empowered. We took the kids from the Buttercup Apartments in Stop 6 to the museum. And the little girls called me their new mama. And that made me feel real empowered.
I've seen that. Those pictures were beautiful. Look like everyone.
And they when they prayed for us.
Aww.
We took them to Pan African Connection, and they just got in a circle, and they thank God for us bringing them to the museum, and for caring about them and loving on them, and that really made me feel empowered. It's beautiful to see, that through a child's eyes.
Right. That's
Okay.
cool. So BEM stands for where y'all represent being big on providing gun safety and trainings, and you also educate our community on training themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
So speak a little bit about on gun safety, and then we'll go a little bit into how y'all do trainings and things like that.
Well, regarding the self-defense portion, first off, I want to go into a little background of what Black Empowerment is.
Yes.
It's BEM is Black Empowerment Movement. It was founded in 2014, August 2014. It was started, co-founded by me, Tiffany, Tom, and O'Brien.
Okay.
It was four of us. And what sparked us to come together, we already been kind of, all four of us was already like-minded. So, but what the whole Trayvon Martin situation, when that happened, it kind of like pushed us to like, we all like-minded. Let's link up together and try to do something within our own local area.
Right.
And so, and that's how we came together to create Black Empowerment Movement, the whole name. We started getting a logo and all of that, and we just started working together in the organization. So that's basically how it was founded. And then from there, we just started adding different components onto it. So, we started studying other organizations from the past. So I like to say Black Empowerment Movement, the organization, we kind of, when we went back and studied, we like to look at the Black Panther Party. We studied the Black Liberation Army. The Republic of New Africa organization. Several of those different socialist, Black nationalist organization we study. And then, so you try to look at those things and look at the foundation that was already built, and just try to add on into how can some of the foundations that were built in the past, how can we add on to it in a new age? Because some things apply and some things don't apply to in today's world. So now back to the gun part. Cause that's what people like to.
You good at it too.
I'm all right. But we all know, we see what's going on. Self-defense is important now. It's definitely needed. So first, before I started getting into guns, I haven't always been this expert gun shooter and all this and that. I just recently, I don't know, within the last 4 or 5 years, started shooting on a consistent basis. I'm from Mississippi, so we always had shotguns and did some shooting, but for me to just be more consistent, I started practicing, started going to YouTube, researching how to break down a gun, how to shoot a gun, and then I took that knowledge, I just started going to the gun range, and that's how it took off from there. So I just took my own applied knowledge and started feeding it and giving it to the community, which I feel like that's what we all should do. We should take our own applied knowledge of wherever our expertise is and give it out to the community and share it.
Yes,
I agree.
So yeah, gun safety is very important. Trainings. Can you speak a little bit about how y'all do trainings in the community?
Well, basically the trainings, we try to at least go once a month. We try to go as an organization, and then we try to go as where people outside the organization can come to the trainings. We sometimes we may go to a per se regular gun range where you have the base you shoot in. Sometimes we go to the outdoor range where it's free range where you can run and shoot and do things like that. So we try to mix it in. And these are things we don't charge for per se. We just, if we give you gun training, we just ask that you just give a simple donation, because most people that train you how to shoot, they're gonna charge you like $100 for 2 hours. Well, maybe $150 for 2 hours. We don't even charge you money. The only thing we ask you to pay the whatever it is, the cost to go to the range, and just make a donation you see fit to make to get the training.
Nice.
Yeah, we actually have a certified gun instructor in the organization. So we have a person that's certified to train. So the sad part is we don't have a lot of people take advantage of it. Like when I say, hey, we going to the gun range, we might have 2 people show up.
We need y'all to start showing up now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wonder why they're not showing up. Do you think it's out of fear?
Because nobody died yet.
Oh.
they don't show up to they see somebody
That's
that
true.
died in the news.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, I want to go to the gun range. Then,
Wow.
I mean, that's when people care. They say, "Oh shit, I need to go buy a gun." That my inbox be blowing up.
Right.
Hey, Kintu, let me get in there. Let me buy a gun. Show me how to buy one.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So y'all heard that. It's very important to dig into what's going on in the community, and like he said, the resources are out there. It doesn't cost much to get these trainings, and we definitely need it. You know, like he said, don't wait until the last minute to try to know how to shoot a gun or break down a gun. So Miss Jessica,
Okay.
how does it feel being the one of few women on the tactical organization with all of these men?
Well, we have, we got quite a few ladies, but it's good, it's cool.
Okay.
Kintu's like a big brother, so yeah, we pretty close. He's actually, I have a grandson, and that's his goddad. So
Okay.
we pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like family.
yeah, we like family.
Awesome.
He get on my nerves like family.
Hey, you guys, don't forget to call in if y'all have any questions on gun training. The number is 203-802-5694, 203-802-5694, KMWI.
Awesome. So now, can one of y'all tell us what is the youngest age that you have trained?
um,
10 or 11?
Wow.
no, we can say my daughter 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
8. Oh,
Yeah, she
wow.
was 8 the first time we took her to the gun range.
Was she nervous or anything?
Yeah, she was. Jada was
She was
nervous.
nervous?
She wasn't nervous. She just said, "Why is this even necessary?"
Wow.
So that took her. I had to, then it was a way to have an open discussion with her about the importance of
Right.
gun safety and gun training and why you need to protect yourself in the
Right.
first place.
Right. Yeah. So that's important. What are y'all, let's say, top 3 things that you tell people about gun safety?
Oh, top 3 things. Never point at something you're not ready to shoot.
Okay.
That's key. Never point at anything you're not ready to shoot.
Okay.
Always treat a gun as if it's loaded,
Yes.
and never have your hand on the trigger unless
Alright.
you're ready to shoot.
Yes.
I like that. Those are some good 3 points, you guys. Remember those 3 points. Could you repeat that again?
All right, I had to remember that. Never point at nothing you're not ready to shoot.
Okay.
Never have your finger on the trigger unless you're ready to shoot it.
Right.
And
I think loaded.
always treat the gun as loaded.
Loaded,
Yes.
right,
Yes.
right.
Awesome.
Yeah, my mom always talked about that. What's the point of having a gun in the house if it's not loaded? Like, you can't tell the person that's breaking in, like, hold up, let me load my gun real quick. No, you can't do that. So.
Y'all always have one in the chamber ready to go.
Oh yeah.
Because you never know what's going to happen, right?
I keep my shotgun by
You
the
got to be
bed.
prepared. You got to stay ready.
Yes.
Always remember that. Stay ready, you guys.
Yes.
So, how do you feel about women in their perceived roles in the movement?
They are the cornerstone. Like, they're the foundation because they I'm gonna tell you about the women. The women will be putting in the work the most.
Yeah, we do.
The men, they follow whatever the women does, because the guys, they like, the women, they get out there, they do it, they knock it out, so they are vital.
Okay.
Vital.
Yes.
I like
love
that.
All right. Also, do you have any special lady in your life, and do you have dating time?
No, I don't have any dating time. I be especially with Roma out, I'm not dating nobody. It's, we gotta follow these guidelines. I be in the house.
Okay.
Y'all hear that,
Social
ladies?
distancing.
He don't have a special lady out there, so call in,
Yeah.
okay?
They trying to put me out here on the track, y'all. See that?
Oh my goodness. So, as well, how do y'all feel about the shooting with Ahmad?
How about that? You was shooting. There's so many shootings.
Yeah, it is. It really
Man.
is. But the Ahmad shooting.
It's tragic. It's definitely tragic. It just showing you the ugly underbelly of American society, and we gotta remember they wasn't gonna arrest the guy until the video came out. So, into the video and the social media and the pressure, they was probably about to just go may still go scotch free.
Yeah, they still gonna
So
go.
so it's very tragic and it's messed up in all sorts and type of ways. But it's just another example of many examples that we've been seeing throughout the years of what Americans really think of black men and women, and it should be one of the thousand examples that we need to see, our wake up call, or what we need to start getting our shit together and come together and figure out a solution how to deal with Americans.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Jessica?
And I can come back on what Kintu said. Yeah, it's just pretty much showing you America's way, and it's the way it's always been this way. It's kind of sometimes I have to remind myself not to get numb to it because it happens so often. You get numb.
Yeah.
You get numb to things that another black man shot. You know, they gonna go out, they gonna protest, and we gonna end up forgetting about it. And we gonna move on, and a few months later, a few weeks later, it's gonna happen again. So what we have to do is, the people, we have to become proactive and not reactive. We're reactionary. We already have to be working on what we're supposed to be doing to make these things, putting the pressure on the people who are in charge of his arrest in the first place. If we were putting pressure on our governors, judges throughout the years, if we was doing that on a consistent basis, not just when somebody gets shot, if we were in politics consistently or working in our communities consistently, then we wouldn't have to be out in the streets marching because they already know, well, let me get on this because they gonna be on me.
Right.
We have to stay on them. It's not something, you can't be passive with it. You can't forget about them. You have to stay on it. It's our change will not come until we are more consistent.
So that goes back to when it comes to voting, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's also good to vote, you guys. I mean, some people feel like when it comes to voting, oh, that's not going to do nothing, but it actually does make a change, you guys. So, you know, when it's time for the re-election, come on out and vote, you guys.
Okay, so I want to chime in on the vote and back in, just like I was saying.
Okay.
Yes, it is. It's important to vote, and it's important to vote, but not just that. We have to come together as a collective. We have to control who we want in the office. Don't just go out there and check a mark because it was your right to vote.
True,
a lot of people
true.
say, well, my ancestors died for it. But when y'all get out there, y'all don't know who y'all want to vote for.
Exactly.
Y'all get in that booth and y'all start guessing. Y'all need to be able to know who is on the ballot, what do they believe in, and get together with your community and come together and do the research. Come together and find out who y'all voting for, who y'all want to choose, and make sure y'all go to that person and say, these are our demands. This is what we want for our community. Don't just vote. Vote with a purpose.
Yes.
I just want to.
Okay, I agree. That's what substance, put it on the table. You just laid it out for the whole world.
Yes.
So, as well, Jessica, let me ask you about your dating life.
Oh, hell.
So, how's your dating life nowadays?
She worried about no boo watching or something.
I ain't no boo watching. That's what it is. Ain't no boo watching. I don't have no boo watching.
So you're single.
I'm single.
All right, you hear that, fellas out there?
I don't know about mingling though.
She said single, not ready to mingle yet.
So, what has your trials been as well as a young grandmother?
Teaching my daughter how to be a mother. That's a trial. Cause she like me, you know, she thinks she know it. She hard headed. She don't want to listen. But she getting better. We growing. It's a process. It's growing. It's also, you know, a process. Being a young grandmother when I'm out with my grandson, and I'm not the type of person. I'm not going, you know, oh, that's your baby. That's my grandson.
Yeah.
You know, you get those looks, you know. But it is what it is. I adore them. Yeah.
That's sweet.
Okay, and as well, do you think that the men in the conscious community use that against women to shoot their shot or get played?
Hell yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna say
Hell yeah.
yes.
Yeah, they do it. Don't have no intention of nothing good. They just trying to hit.
Just trying to hit.
That's why I don't be falling for all that. I don't want to hear all
Like
that.
tea over here.
Yeah, you sip it. You sip. I'm sorry. You sip it. You sip it.
Okay.
So tell me what
I can't even defend the man.
Cause he know it's true.
Is it?
Very.
Okay.
Yeah, that next question better be about what about the women in the community?
Well, I'm going back to guns.
See there? Bias.
Oh wow.
The women the worst. See me and I had to defend y'all.
And it was not. It was fruitless.
So what's y'all's view on open carry doing events? How do y'all feel about open carry?
I like it. I like when we do it because it gives us an opportunity for somebody to ask us about it.
Okay.
So I remember we did security at the Tatiana Jefferson rap,
Awesome.
and they were open carrying. And when shout out to Pastor Rodney McIntosh, he got the crowd riled up and they started marching down the street.
Okay.
People were walking and some of the brothers was walking alongside with their guns out, and I was walking in the crowd.
Okay.
So I heard people saying, "Well, he got their gun." So it was a way for me to go ahead and explain to them, it's not against you, it's for you.
Right.
So we as black people, we have a right to carry our guns
That's
and protect
your right.
ourselves as well. That's your right too.
Exactly.
Don't see a gun and automatically get scared. He ain't
Right.
gonna use it on you. He
Right.
using it to protect you.
Exactly. How you feel about it, Kintu?
I agree with Jessica. It's good to show the community that you are able to open carry because a lot of times with people in our community, our black people, they first of all we not big on gun ownership.
Right.
And we just for whatever reason we really scared of guns, and so when the community see us openly carry, it brings attention to bring a conversation with the people because a lot of times we didn't have the open carry, they would never stop and talk and ask questions. That'll be a good time to talk about the organization, what we doing in the community. The gun is just to bring them in.
Right.
Sometimes not so more for security, but just to get that conversation going with the people in the community
Right.
when they see us openly carry. But at the same time, it's good to make them feel safe at the same time as well.
Right. Cool. So what's y'all's favorite gun preference?
I don't like all them big. Oh well, I don't want to carry them big guns.
Nah,
Nice little 9 is fine for me.
Okay.
I like Glocks. I'm big on Glocks. I'm biased. As a pistol, I love Glocks. You
Okay.
know, that's me.
What about my hostess? What's y'all favorite gun preference?
I don't have a preference because this is new.
Okay.
But I have been to a gun range.
Okay.
I did shoot. I don't remember what I shot.
Okay.
But it was fun. It was different. But this is not like a topic that is around often. So
Okay.
This is very new. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm interested though.
Awesome.
I mean, I don't actually have a preference because I like them all. I mean, as long as you shoot and get the job done, hey, I'm with it.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
I like the 45. I grew
Oh,
up with
okay.
guns. My mom was a single child, so that was like her brother's sister. So she always carried one, and so
Okay.
we had them around the house a lot. She taught us, the do's and the don'ts with gun safety, and like I said,
Because there are pros and cons when it comes to gun safety, am I right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
yeah. So, and she used to let us shoot them on like New Year's Eve. She'll let us all get outside and shoot the gun. So,
Okay.
guns I'm very familiar with guns. So,
All right, mama about that life. Mama ain't with it. Oh, we gotta call you guys. We gotta call. Yo. Thanks for calling, sir. Who am I speaking with?
This is Leela.
Say your name again.
Leela,
That's
Leela.
my sister.
Hey, what's going on? That's your sister, huh?
Yeah.
Sister represent. What's going on, sis? Tell us what's on your mind.
Well, first of all, I just wanted to call. I have a question and I have a comment.
Okay.
So, my question is, when y'all do the safety training, do y'all talk about like safety in the home when you have like small children and things like that? Y'all go over that with people as well?
Are you talking about gun safety in the home with kids?
Right.
Yes, I always tell people, if you have youth in the house, you definitely part of gun ownership is responsibility. So you would need to buy a safe to keep the gun. So especially with kids, I live by myself. My gun just be out on my table in the living room.
But do you have a safe?
Yes, I have a safe.
Okay.
Cause I definitely have to say because people like to break in houses for guns too, unfortunately.
Wow.
But yeah, you should definitely have a safe, and we go over people, talk to people about what type of safe they need to buy and things of that nature, and how to store a gun in the home as well.
Okay, great. And my comment is, I just want to tell everybody how proud I am of both of y'all. Me being just a big sis is really good whenever I see on Facebook. She's been on TV before. I just always had all these big, proud big sister moments. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew who's listening right now how proud her big sister, her mother is of her, for her doing for her community, for her being out there, for her following, for her convictions, and for her not letting those things work. So I just have to tell everybody how proud I am of her.
Oh,
Thank you.
I cry later.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. Sissy, you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, you too.
All right, bye. Wow, I love the supporting the question she asked.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people out there that's wondering about the gun safety. So y'all be sure, if you do go out there and buy your guns, if you have guns, be sure that you practice safety and have a safe. So, children like to play games, and, they had a lot of incidents out there with young children who find the guns, and, just bad things end up happening. So be sure that you guys out there that y'all also practice safety.
All right, so have y'all? We're gonna go back to gun safety. Have y'all ran into any problems with the police?
Actually, you know what? You talking about like with being out in the community?
With the pow-pow.
You know what? No. The answer your question, no. I think the reason why is I like to use the formula of strength in numbers. When they see numbers, they see a lot of people with guns, they don't mess with you.
Yeah.
They start shivering.
And Brady, he's a big advocate of walking around with his gun.
That's my boy right there.
Okay.
Shout out to you, Brady.
Yeah.
Brady is big on the guns. He gonna come in. Hey, sis, you want to go train?
That's the first thing he gonna ask you when you meet you. You know how to shoot a gun?
That's what
wanna
he
go
said.
train a gun?
That's what he said to me, and I
Yeah,
was
that's
like,
the first thing he gonna
he's
say.
the
scared
first
because
thing
he
he
had
gonna
that big
ask.
old Zuka or something on
That
it.
thuka
The
thuka.
Thuka. I was like, ooh, okay. That made me feel empowered being around him with them big old guns.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, but actually, no, we never had issues with the police. I think at the end of the day, they want to go home at night too.
Right.
To their families. But when you become an easy target, when they don't see many guns or you by yourself, that's when they mess with you. So
Right.
I try to make it a point, if we're gonna organize or do something with guns in the community, or we gonna be open and carry, make sure it ain't just one or two of us. We gotta at least be like 3 or 4 deep at least.
Yeah.
For our own safety, because we
Right.
don't want to go out there, weak or anything.
Right.
So when do you feel a gun should be used?
When your life is in danger.
Yeah, that's for sure.
When your life is in danger, use it, man. At the end of the day, I'd rather be judged by, what it say, judged by 12 than, what is it, buried by 6, or however it goes.
Yeah, I know what you're
Judged
talking
by
about.
12 and carried by 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Oh my goodness.
but yeah, so yeah, if my life is in danger, I'm using it and worry about everything else later.
Right.
Fight it out in court, at least I'm still here.
Right, right.
Yeah. So let's talk about that incident at Wilbarger Park.
Wow,
Like,
that was.
I've been hearing so many stories about what happened, and actually I was on my way to go take a family member some food, and was exiting Wilbarger and saw like the whole park surrounded with police. I'm like, what's going on? So I rode on down Millen. Everybody knows what's going on. So I asked, and they was like, it was some young kids up there shooting, and I'm like, why? Like, I don't understand like what their point is when they take their guns out to use them.
Use it against your own people at that.
Well, we all know that all of us are not raised in a household to be empowered as black people. Some of us ain't being raised, period, and some of us sure ain't being raised with racial pride. So they definitely not thinking about looking at another black person when they take out a gun. And
oh, didn't want to stop me, but we got a call, you guys. Hey.
They would interrupt you.
Y'all, what's up? This your girl is Sarah. Thank you for calling, sir. Who is we speaking with?
Hello, this is Jada.
Hi,
Jada.
Look at that
That's my child.
What's going on with you? What's on your mind?
Well, your mother told me to call Mom.
They support. They showing their
They just,
support.
yeah, they support it.
Do you have any questions about gun safety or was she the one that used the gun?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, both of them
Okay.
used it, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So tell us how you felt the first time you shot a gun, Jada.
It was very scary, and it hurt my finger. It was very, yes, it was very painful.
Okay, now she's faking.
So would you use a gun again if you had to protect your family?
I mean, if I have to, then yes, I would consider it.
Okay.
You gonna consider protecting?
She's like,
You know, we do have knives, but you know, there are different ways. Different ways.
She said we do have knives.
Oh, so she gonna shank you, gonna shank somebody.
Personal.
Any questions?
Jada, you done? Are you still there?
No, don't have any questions.
Well, bye, Jada.
Thank you for calling in, Jada, and supporting us.
Oh, excuse you, Kintu. That was very rude.
Jada, hang up.
Well, thank you for tuning in, Jada.
Love you. Bye.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. I just love the support.
Yeah,
I love
do
it.
too. I do too. I love it. So yeah, back to what you were saying about our younger generations and guns and not being taught in the household how to act and
The whole park situation.
yeah.
Yeah. So what I was saying was, let me see, where was I at? Okay, so basically I was saying, you know, they're not raised with any type of racial pride or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know, we also this not just our community, but as a country, we have a culture of violence.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you young, keep in mind the brain isn't fully formed until you're 25. So when you young, you don't see the value. They not seeing the value of a life.
Right.
And they gonna catch it. It's gonna come to them later on, but it's not coming to them right now because again, we're not proactive. We're reactionary.
Mm-hmm.
And that gun pull out, it's quick.
Yep.
And once it take a second to shoot somebody, but once they on that ground, I mean, it's it, and you can't take it back. But they not thinking about that at the moment.
Was it like 600 people at the park?
That's what I heard. Now I didn't go get the tea. I didn't go get the tea because we had that was Mother's Day. We had just went out in the hot sun. We had passed out food in Antigua and in the Buttercup. Hell, I was tired.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I said, I'm done. I'm going to bed.
Wow.
I didn't have no more energy left in me to really research what happened. I just I saw a live video. I only saw a little part of it because like I said, I didn't have the energy. And I saw it was a young man hopping on the back of somebody's car. And then, you know, here come the cliche comments from the community, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't name them all. They make my head hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad. And I think what 3 or 2 people were injured or something like
I think
that.
5.
Or
I read 5.
5 people were injured.
Wow.
Jessica, how do you
That's
feel
really
about the
sad.
Stop the Violence rallies? Do you think that's effective, Stop the Violence rallies?
To be honest, I mean, it can bring awareness, but it's got to be something after that in order for something like that to be effective. Because for me to be honest, the shooters ain't gonna be at the rally.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna be at no rally. They somewhere chilling, laying low, getting high.
Yeah,
They're not gonna be at the
exactly.
rally. And one thing that I learned when I first started doing community work is the people ain't coming to you. You have to go and get them from where they are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They not coming to you. So we have to go to them. The step one is we got to find out who these kids are.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean we could do it, and that's something that we gonna have to do off the net. Off Facebook, they don't want to be seen. We can't expose the babies. We gotta do that behind closed doors. It's something we would have to do to move in silence.
Right.
So it's a way to go about it, but we gotta make sure we go about the right way. I love to get down and talk to the kids, the girls, the young men. I don't care who they are. I love them all. You look
Yeah.
like me, I love you. I may not always get along with you. I may not always like all of y'all.
Yeah.
But I love each and every one of my melanated people. I love them. So at the end of the day, we have to make sure we go about this the right way, and we want to bring change. And we also have to make sure that the kids, that we listen. We have to have an open ear. We can't talk it. We got to be able to be quiet and listen to what they have to say.
That's
and
true.
I forgot what I was about to say. I also want, BM does community patrol, and I just want to say that's something that we try to encourage other communities to do, is community patrolling, because sometimes we can prevent a lot of things in our community if we got brothers out there that these young kids look up to and they in the streets. We would really appreciate some brothers who want to form community patrols in their community. That would be a real awesome thing. If y'all want help with that, please, by all means, reach out.
Yes.
How can they reach out?
You can reach us on Facebook. You can reach us on Instagram, bemovement.org.
Okay.
bemovement.org. Okay.
And also, we have a partnership in Dallas as well, because most people think that we are strictly a Fort Worth organization. I like to think of us as a DFW organization, because we do a lot of collaboration with people in Dallas as well. Like one of the nonprofit organizations we work with is CIBN. Commissary is very necessary. Marcus X, Russell. So I work with him. He actually is part of Black Empowerment, and we definitely work with his nonprofit organization, because that brother is doing a lot of good things in the Dallas area with feeding the people in the Highland Hills.
Okay.
So if you see us in Highland Hills, it's because of Marcus X. And we definitely work with that organization. Commissary is very necessary. It's a great organization.
Commissary is very necessary.
It is.
It is.
Out of
A lot
Dallas.
of our brothers that's locked up, sisters who locked up, need commissary to help.
Definitely.
Sarah, do you have any spiritual questions you want to ask?
Okay, now we get into the spiritual side of things where I can actually, partake in the conversation. I enjoyed everything that y'all talked about. Like I said, this was a new topic for me, and just learning as well, because when, like, Christian background, it's not really something that you hear. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear guns. You hear, the commandment, don't murder. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
it is teaching you, like,
The good book did say eye for eye, though. That's the Old Testament, though.
but learning about gun safety, using it properly when it's in a house with your children.
Right.
To be honest, I never really went and got a gun because I had to be careful. My husband is a recent felon.
Okay.
So that could cause conflict.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, if we both in the house, Lord forbid anything happen, I ain't gonna probably be the main one to shoot it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I have to be that one. As a wife, I'm like, yeah,
Protect
I
your
did it.
family.
You know what I'm
Protect your
saying?
family.
So I have to be careful with it.
Okay.
Because still doing some research on how long, I don't know.
5 years.
I mean, he's good now.
Right.
Okay.
So I'll probably be good to have one at home, but
Okay.
before I didn't consider it. So,
Okay.
so on the flip side, we're talking about Christianity and church and just different things. So, why do you feel that Christianity is looked down on so much by the conscience of the community?
Well, we getting into the
Let's
deep
start
questions
with-
now.
We'll start with the ladies.
Yeah.
So,
Who said it was looked down on?
Some people do.
Some people do. A lot of people do.
A lot.
And
It's,
it-
it's controversy right now.
And
you
then
know what I'm saying?
sometimes-
Like, it's a big topic.
Sometimes, hell, I do. Because sometimes the church, and I'm gonna keep it real, and I ain't never gave a flip about offending nobody. So here we go.
Just be you.
A lot of the times, if the church doesn't, when it comes down to these types of issues, the church doesn't do enough. And that's how I feel, especially when we have issues in our community with the violence or with police brutality. We go out and we march, but we also forgive. And with sometimes forgiveness calls you to do a little bit of forgetting and do a little bit more loving on your enemy. I ain't gonna lie, I don't love none of my enemies. Not them people out there I know is gonna shoot me.
It's hard.
I don't love them.
Yeah. It's hard.
I'm just saying. I got my antennas is up. I'm not about to try to convince you to love me. And sometimes I see it on Facebook all the time in the comment section. We trying to educate and teach people how to love the black community. When we need the black community to turn around and focus on each other, we don't need to be focused on no households. And sometimes we don't. I feel like a lot of Christians lose sight of that. You know, they feel like, well, you know, we all. I use this example, which is why it's hard to date being woke. I was talking to this brother, and he said when Jesus died on the cross, he got rid of race. I was on Bluetooth, and I just said, ain't gonna never speak again. That was it. Block as a wrap. I was like, oh, you know, I wonder how many people think like that? Because I mean, we made this way for a reason. We made this way to be proud of it. That's my take on that.
What about you?
Man, she said a mouthful right there. I mean, we've been Christians, black people, we've been Christians for so long. Like anything, we need to have patience with our fellow Christians. At the same time, I agree with Jessica. I feel like sometimes we can be too hard on Christians as well. We got to have a little more patience with them because we got to remember everybody move at their own speed. And sometimes we can be too hard on the Christian, and then they go in their shell and they say, okay, we ain't fucking with them people because they hard on us. So sometimes we just gotta have patience. We just can't bombard them with information. Yeah, Jesus ain't real, blah blah blah. This ain't real. Let me show you this information. We can't do that to our people. We gotta embrace people with love and open arms and let them move at their own pace and let them find out the truth on their own at their pace. We just can't hit them with the unk. You see this unk? You wearing that cross? Blase. You can't do that.
So aggressive. Stop you, but for a lot of people who don't know what the unk is, do you mind showing them your earrings?
Oh,
yes. Those are what you call the unks, you guys. For those of you who didn't know what it was.
Good point. So sometimes you can push people away when you hit them too hard. So sometimes you just gotta drop some quick facts and move on. Just plant a seed and move on, because a lot of time that causes a disconnect with building with Christians, because at the end of the day we're gonna need everybody, regardless of your religious background, to work together with each other. Because at the end of the day, especially within our organization, it don't matter if you're Christian, Muslim, whatever you are, we don't care about your religious belief. Leave that shit at home. We black first.
What about the gay black people? Like, I think we're to a point where if you black and you have the same mind, same attitude, not just you think like, but you have the same actions, we should embrace everybody black to build up. We can't be casting away people because you gay, because you Christian. It's a time for us to all just rather, if you black, you want to work, let's work.
Just like-minded. I mean, when you say like-minded, it doesn't mean we're gonna always agree.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we have to, and that's
principles.
Exactly. We have to come. That's where we have to come to understanding. We have to come to a middle ground. We can't be like, oh, I don't fool with them because they don't, they don't believe in Jesus, or I don't fool with them because they not Muslim. You can't be like that, because when you walking down that street and that cop pull you over, you can't pull out no card.
That part.
And tell him you a Christian. I'm a Christian like you. He's not gonna care about that. So we have to really come together and understand. Okay, I believe in safe spaces. So, when you with your Christian people, that's y'all space right there. When we come together as black people, that's our space. Then sometimes we got separated. We go to our space as women because we talking about our sisterhood. So everybody got different spaces and different hats. We just got to all know when it's time to put that black hat on.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that
part.
I like that.
Do y'all promote diversity? I'm just saying, like, have other race ever tried to,
No, they can't join.
Period.
But they say period, poo.
But I don't think there's been a time that another race has tried to join. Have you?
We got an inbox on Facebook.
Then we shut that down.
Yeah,
what about the white
that's just like the KKK. If you black, you can't join the KKK.
And like I said, it's about a space.
What about the white blacks? They grew up in the hood.
And the black whites. They got the black whites. Don't forget it.
No, ain't no such thing. You just grew up in the ghetto.
Now don't get it twisted. The organization, I wouldn't say we're a black nationalist organization where we don't deal with other races, like working in community. We work with any other group, as long as we have a common goal of help. That's why we say all power to the people, because we believe in working with all people in working class to help each other. If we have a common goal, we will work with other races. But because we're black, we focus and target on black people. But
Okay.
if other groups want to work with us toward working towards helping our particular group, we cool with that. They just can't be part of the organization.
Okay,
Just a volunteer.
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
This is my last question. I'm gonna shut up. Do y'all consider yourselves militant or borderline militant?
I would say if it's time to wear that hat, we militant. You
Yeah.
know, it just depends on when it's time to wear that hat.
Yeah.
But if it's time to be militant, we're gonna be militant. But sometimes it's not required. So I guess whenever the situation calls for it, we will be that.
I've been called militant by quite a few of my family members if they're watching.
Oh, sorry, we got a
That's probably one of them now.
Another family member calling.
Hey y'all, thanks for calling Serve. Who are we speaking with?
This is SJ.
This is who?
SJ?
SJ.
Oh, Sean, that's my nephew.
Oh, well, thanks for calling in, nephew.
Hello. Okay, so I had a question for you guys. You're talking about, basically what he's talking about, if I get this right, is your organization is basically separatist, so you don't believe in integration with other races, but, keeping separate but working together. Did I get that correct?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Am I right?
Okay, so my question is, so given we live in a white world right now, so in America, as American citizens, this is a white man's world, and, the notion that we as black people are going to change their world, how do you reconcile that with the fact that we can't change our world without their help? So that's like something that is a topic that it's not addressed very often, so how do you feel about that, the fact that how are we going to change?
If I understand you correctly, you said that we cannot change our world without their help.
Yeah, well, without their consent, honestly, because until the white man, or until we get enough white people to consent, then there's not going to be policy changes, even if we get a few elected official lines, because of the way the government is set up. I mean, unless we get enough white people to consent, they're not going to stop redlining our districts. They're not going to stop, putting poor people in bad schools, So how do a separatist group consider those, problems?
Good question. I have the answer for that actually. It may not be the popular answer, but the first of all, we'll never get consent from the dominant society. That'll never happen. They'll never give us consent. With that being said, the answer to the question is we gotta separate. We gotta have something like what the Jews had in Israel. We gotta have our own sovereign nation. Now, how we come about having our own sovereign nation, that'll be a whole nother separate conversation.
Yeah.
That's where we talk about. That's where you talking about revolution.
Yeah.
So if you look at country that fought for their own land and separation, you got the Vietcong's. They in the Haitian Revolution, the Vietnamese Revolution, the China Revolution, all these different nations were in control by another ones. You had the Chinese was controlled by the Japanese. You had the Vietnamese that was controlled by France, and they had to fight France and American to get their freedom. So at the end of the day, true revolution, unfortunately, more than likely, will have bloodshed. Hopefully, we don't need bloodshed, but most of the time, it takes bloodshed to get true freedom without consent. Some people still have the pie in the sky that we would get that consent, that America will eventually accept us. But history has shown that America would never accept us, and they'll never give us consent. So the quicker we can wrap our minds around, we need to separate without their consent and put pressure, however that pressure may need to come to get that freedom. That's how it would happen.
Love it.
Whoa! Does that answer your question, nephew?
All right, well, thank you. Yeah.
Nephew did an awesome job. That was a
Good question. Good question.
That was a good
Yeah.
question.
Thank you, nephew. That was a good question, and we really appreciate your calling. Thank you for the support, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, you too. Thank you guys for having the show.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
That brother like your parents.
You actually handled that question. You answered that question pretty good, and like we were talking about bloodshed. I mean, we already have bloodshed on the earth.
Are we prepared for that? Everybody talk that talk, but are they prepared for
No.
that?
A lot of our people are not prepared to have that bloodshed.
That's
To be honest.
We just gotta continue to get uncomfortable. I don't know what it'll take, what is the boiling point, what is the, as they say, the straw that broke the camel back, all those cliches, whatever it takes. But once we get uncomfortable enough, then we'll be ready. I don't know what it would take, but and sometimes it may not happen in our lifetime. We got to get in the mindset that a lot of stuff that we may want may not happen in our lifetime. So we need to start looking at it, okay, this is a generational thing we got to build. We got to lay foundation.
Right.
So for the next generation, we'll be able to say, we got the freedom that our forefathers put before us.
Exactly.
So we got to be looking at it as we bricklayers, we laying foundation down. We may be doing stuff that may not happen in our lifetime. It may be our great grandkids that carry on to make the overall goal of separation. We have our own land, our own nation. We can fly our own flag, our own government. And when I'm speaking about us, I'm talking about descendants of slaves that came from this land,
Yes.
that we can have our own nation,
Exactly.
to build and government. And then we can, I don't even like to talk about, okay, we have our own government, how will we govern, will it be capitalist, socialist? I want to get the land and get the government first, and then let's have that argument.
Right.
Let's get free first, and then figure out how we're going to have that discussion on how to govern.
Oh yeah.
I'm just taking it all. I'm taking it all in. Hey, this is new and I'm learning, y'all. So hey.
Yeah.
So we're back to religious. What is your religious belief?
Man, I'm still learning. I still every now and then I get that Bible app out. If y'all see me at like some type of post Bible verses,
And they don't take it in. You hear that and somebody be like, "What? You okay?"
Me personally, I still read the Bible. I still like to research different spiritual things. I still like to look into the ancestors, the Orishas.
What is it? Hermetics?
I don't do
E5.
Kemetic.
Oh, okay.
Voodoo. I like to look at the voodoo, look into the different spirits, the voodoo spirits. I'm still having, I ain't reached out to Papa Levy yet. That's a voodoo spirit. So I know a lot of people that get into the voodoo spirit, going to the Orishas or whatever you want to call them, Papa Levy, Oshun, Ogun, the actual spirit for guidance.
That's all a part of E5.
Yeah, the E5 and all that.
Okay.
So I like to just study different things. I don't like to put myself in a box and say, hey, I'm this.
Exactly.
I like to pull for different things.
Right.
Exactly. I'm the same
One
way.
big source.
I'm the same way.
What
What about you, Jessica?
Well, I'm kind of the same way. I used to teeter-tot on it and as I got old, I teeter-tot. I grew up in church. My sister that called in, she's actually a minister, and she's a damn good one at that.
Okay.
Because my sister is, my sister is very open-minded. I'm just now getting in all the, the E5 and the crystals and all that type of stuff, and I research it, but for the longest I was pretty much ambiguous. I know I believe in the higher power and all that, but I saw so much fault in the church, I had to step away from it because you be in there looking like, look, I got something I got to say.
Wow.
But I know I'm gonna make somebody mad, so I ain't gonna say it. I just rather just not come. And that's where I'm pretty much at that until we understand the church, especially the churches, that the revolution belongs to the youth. And I think sometimes I see a lot of churches, we gotta focus on kids, and we also have to focus on our communities. I know that when we go to church sometimes, you hear the word and then you leave. It's the same thing they do with any type of, fake outrage, false, whatever. They leave church Yeah, they still the same as they was before they got up that morning. It ain't nothing different. So, sometimes, and that's a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta make a personal choice to change. Can't nobody change nobody.
Right.
That's within you. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at.
You gotta be the church. I think a lot of millennials have moved away from the church.
And the church is in the community.
You have to touch the people. You need to be that light in dark times. We in very dark times.
Exactly.
So I figured myself, I need to be that.
Hold on, Rachel. We got
Whoever
waiting too long. Dang, y'all.
that was, call back.
This is a really good.
Call back, y'all.
No, but what I want to touch on this subject is.
I'm gonna get my
Get it in.
Hey, you guys, thanks for calling Serve. Who are we speaking with?
Black Power, it's Supreme Rock Africa.
That's my bro. Hey,
Supreme, what's up?
Hey, Phil.
What's up, BEM?
What's good? All power to the people. What's up, bro?
Man, first of all, I just want to say, man, great job. You and the crew, you and the family, you and the tribe, man. Y'all doing an excellent job. In Fort Worth, Texas, man, y'all the black print when it comes to community work, community organizing, and just being there for the people in our time of need. So I just want to salute y'all for that, man. Very, very, very proud of y'all, for real.
Man, you know what, Rick? I'm just building on the foundation that y'all did in Fort Worth before we came. Because I used to be in Temple every Sunday soaking it up. Every Sunday I was at Temple when y'all was at the dock till y'all left the dock, went to the other location. So we was talking about foundations. We got to build foundation for other people to get on, and I'm just on that foundation that the RBG in Fort Worth, Lone Star RBG, and you and Baba and me, all of y'all then put out there. So I'm just carrying on the torch because when I came into the Fort Worth community, I came around you guys. So it's all about everybody doing their part and passing that torch along.
Word up, man. I appreciate that, man. That was the whole goal. You know what I'm saying? Was to spark the match, man, and spread the flame. You know what I'm saying? It's not about monopolizing or controlling something, man. It's about passing it on. Because if we don't pass it on, people gonna miss out. You feel me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One thing I learned, man, is that I'm not everybody's teacher. You feel me? Some people gonna be able to gravitate towards what I have to say and vibrate with what I got to say, and you might say the exact same thing and it might not vibrate, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand that we not everybody's teacher, man, and we have to allow people to walk their path and get it when they get it. You feel me?
Exactly.
Speed and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? I really didn't have too much to add on, man. I'm just sitting back and listening tonight. I just want to let y'all know.
Put a plug in for the wings, man.
That's the wings, man.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all hit me up, man. Supreme's pull up, man. I'll be all over Facebook trying to get this food truck in the next few months, man. Working hard. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, y'all support. I got you. Man, BEM, man, y'all keep doing y'all thing. Black African Power, man.
All right, thank you, my brother. Peace, love, and light.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yo, y'all, we getting some love today, ain't we? Y'all, that's what's up. If y'all have any more questions, y'all can just go ahead and call in at 203-802-5694. The number is actually on the screen. And we just want to thank our host, our guest host, for showing up. What's your name again, sir?
Kintu Sankara.
And you, ma'am?
Jessica.
And if they're trying to reach you guys, how can they reach you?
They can reach us on Facebook at Black Empowerment Movement. You can reach us on our website, which is bemovement.org. Black Empowerment Movement on Instagram.
And we just want to thank y'all for tuning in. We want to tell y'all that you have been served.
And I'm out.
Just embrace the God.
Oh, no matter where you are, you're a superstar. Chase your dreams, you never know, they might get you far. Don't let the world tear you apart, no, no, no. Didn't you know you got that sparkle, baby, glow? It's in your grace and your flow and the way that you always grow. It's in your grace and your flow, oh, oh, oh. Just embrace your melanin, just embrace